Tony Madsen with the Wild Cardinal Network, and I am privileged tonight to be out talking to Coach Ashlyn Roberts, our volleyball coach here at St. Michael. How are you tonight, Coach?
I'm good. How are you?
Nice to see you tonight. Thank you for coming out to the Wild Cardinal Network.
Thanks.
We are looking at what point are we at in the volleyball season?
We are getting down to the nitty gritty. I say to the girls, we have just a handful of matches left until we enter the area tournament. We have Saraland this week on Thursday, and then next week we have our last two home games, senior night included.
We're hoping to the Wild Cardinal Network, we get out and broadcast those, so I hope everybody looks forward to that. Coach Roberts, could you tell me a little bit about your personal experience as a coach or as a player?
Yeah.
Let's start with that and go on with as a coach.
Yeah, I started at a small rural school. It's called Sneads High School in the Panhandle, Florida. Won 3 state championships there under my mom's leadership as the head coach. Went on to play 4 years at University of South Alabama. I signed as a setter, set my first 2 years, and I ended up finishing as the libero in my last 2 years. So I was very lucky to be able to, play all 4 years there at South.
And you mentioned, I hate to interrupt you, but you mentioned your mother as a volleyball coach.
Yes.
How was that? I mean, so you plenty of volleyball throughout your whole life coming up.
Yes.
Is that something you always wanted to do? You didn't get tired of it because you talked about it so much?
No, they put us in every sport growing up, and whenever we hit 9th grade, they said choose one and we'll really invest. Because my sister and I both wanted to play college something. We definitely, Olympics was always our goal. We always talked about that, but they wanted to help us get to a college level. And they said, we'll really invest money, time, everything into one sport. And we both happened to pick volleyball. We just loved it the most.
And you came to be a Jaguar.
I did.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
South Alabama.
Yes.
And what year did you graduate from there?
2020.
So 2020, did you coach before you came to St. Michael?
Yes, I did. Yep. Immediately out of college, I moved back home with my family, and I coached under my mom at Florida State University School in Tallahassee. And then I moved the following year to Gulf Shores, and I was at Gulf Shores High School for a season.
Okay. And was that as an assistant or?
Yes, varsity assistant.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then 3 years here at St. Michael.
Yes.
What is it? Can you tell me a little bit about the recent history of St. Michael volleyball?
Yeah. So since I've been here, it's still, what are we in our eighth year?
8th year, yeah.
Yeah. So, areas have moved around a little bit. Teams are moving up, teams are moving down. We just recently had an area change this past season. Excel Academy was supposed to be in our area, but they don't have a varsity. So maybe next year. So it's just us, Satsuma, and Orange Beach. But coming into this program, this team has had playoff experience, which was really wonderful. We had some great players, just a few, Juliet Petrozelli and Claire Hayes, Caroline Bailey, were a few heavy hands. I didn't get to coach, unfortunately, but they were here as I was getting hired. But yeah, this team has playoff experience. Since I've been here, let's see, the juniors, Maddie Northcutt and Emma Ward, they have not seen playoffs yet. So we're hoping to get there this year. But, it's a young school. I would say this year we have a young team, but we're getting better every year.
It sounds like a young team.
Yes.
Can you mention a couple of players from the last couple of years who might have moved on and played college?
Yeah. This past season, Brianna Marks Craig, she is playing at Weber International University down south, Tampa, I believe. Okay. Down south. It might even be farther than Tampa. And then we have Campbell Bailey. She's at Pearl River Community College. Ava Bowie signed to play at Birmingham Southern, but you know what happened with that school. Yeah. So she's at Auburn now, but she was a very, very good high-level player here at St. Michael as well.
Unable to catch on someplace else or?
She just decided, it just didn't work out, and, she has big plans for in the future. All these girls are so smart, so academic is super, super important for them, and she decided just to continue at Auburn as a student.
Oh, wonderful young lady from last year. She's just a great young lady, so
yeah.
We wish her the best. It is a young program. You're just in your third year, but as a young coach, what would it take for you to look back 3 years from now and say, this is successful?
Yeah. I definitely would love to see us back at the playoffs. Since I've been here, we haven't made it out of the area tournament. I believe in my heart that this year we are a playoff team. We're super young. A lot of my players were on JV last year. I have 2 freshmen who get a lot of playing time. And so we're super young. But I really do believe this team can scrap really hard, and they have what it takes to see the postseason. And so for me, I would really love to take care of business against Orange Beach next week, host the area tournament, take back that title, and then move on to Montgomery.
Would it take a victory against Orange Beach to host a
Yes.
postseason? Okay.
We beat Satsuma last week in 4 sets. It was an awesome game. And so now all we have left is Orange Beach.
And that's what night?
That is Thursday night.
Thursday night. Well, let's
Yes.
encourage everybody to come out.
Yes,
Thursday night.
please
We
do.
certainly want to host a region game.
Yes.
After we got past your resume here, let's talk about your current players. Let's start with your senior leadership.
Yes.
You have just a few seniors. Let's talk about them individually if we can.
Yes. So we have 3 seniors this year. Lena Ramos, super high jumper. You know, she was super fun to watch. I say was. She unfortunately had a season-ending injury this summer.
Oh, no.
Tore her ACL. She's had surgery. She's in recovery, and she's doing great. But unfortunately, we haven't had her on the court with us. But she's been with us in every practice, almost every film session. She's been sitting on the sides in the weight room. So she's been with us the whole time, encouraging and, you know, giving input. She has an interesting perspective now from the outside. And so she's really able to help, especially the younger kids. She's able to see different lineups and angles and give feedback, because I can't watch all of them at the same time, you know. And so she's taken a different role this year, but I've been so proud of how she has, you know, handled this adversity. And I do believe she's going to come out a much stronger, better person. And she's doing really great right now.
Okay.
Yes. And then we have Olivia Ford. Olivia is one of my right side hitters. She's just so fun to watch. Her celebration is the best thing I've ever seen. You can't watch her celebrate and not smile. She's just very fiery, and she's like the mom of the team. She really takes the younger kids under her wing, especially the JV kids. She really reaches out and forms a relationship with them, and she takes time to pour into those relationships. And I'm just really proud of this kid. This is her 2nd year as a varsity player, and she's doing really well. I hope she finishes strong this year, and I know she will. Lily Kerbel, also another player. Just all these kids are so fun to watch. People from all over the area know Lily Kerbel from her beach volleyball. She's actually committed to Eastern Kentucky to play, to further her career. Super exciting. That's a great program. But she's the kid running through the benches on the side, knocking everyone over to get to a ball. But Lily is one of the hardest working, she's such a great kid, and she's going to definitely leave a hole in our program. But she as well as Lena, they're taking the time to foster these younger kids. I have a freshman, Ann Paige Jenkins, who's my next libero in line to come in, and Lily has really been taking her under her wing, you know, giving her feedback constantly. They partner up together, and Ann Paige is really learning a lot from Lily, and I know she's going to do a great job coming in right after Lily is gone. So I have a very strong, amazing senior class this year.
Small but strong.
Small but strong, yes.
How about your juniors, and how do they respond to the leadership of the seniors?
Yeah, so I have Maddie Northcutt. She is the only junior returning to varsity this year. She's one of my outside hitters, can jump to the moon. And Emma Ward is a setter. This is her first year varsity experience. They both were freshmen when I came in. And so not only do they respect the seniors and have really, bought into the culture, but, they were coming in as I was coming in. And so, they have really committed to everything that I've been bringing into the program. And, they support the seniors. They have great camaraderie. And I have a very strong, there's only 5 upperclassmen, but they are all strong. And, they bring something different to the table, each one of them.
That is a small upper class.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, let's move on then to your underclassmen.
Yeah.
How did you got a lot of those?
I do. Yes, I do. I have 4 sophomores and 2 freshmen. So I guess it's half and half, but really, Lena and Olivia are the only seniors who are playing. So it's a little outnumbered, but my sophomores are Jane Shilston, Ellie Lee, Jamison Daughtry, and Harper Marston. Jamison and Harper are returning to the varsity this year, so I'm happy to have them, with a year of varsity level. It's very different from JV level volleyball, but I'm very happy to have them back this year, definitely taking leadership roles even as sophomores.
That's good to hear.
Yes.
And then you had 2 freshmen, you said.
And Paige Jenkins and Adele Faulkner.
How are they doing?
Very good. They're coming out, we had a retreat over the summer, and we spent a lot of time, in Bible study and just building relationships outside of the court. And they have definitely just gotten out of their shell. They have just fit right into our crew. So
it's a unique that you have 12 players or less, basically.
11, yeah.
And so you get a chance or an opportunity to really form a close bond with that few of players. How do you kind of foster a competitive and yet spiritual relationship between all those players?
Yeah, well, we just make it clear, our priorities is our faith is always at the top, family, academic, and then volleyball. And so we pray every day before and after practice. And my assistant, Father Connor from Christ the King, he's here with us. So the girls are really loving just having a priest on the staff now. And so we're just always just immersed in faith. We talk about it in whatever we do. Our scripture that we have for this year is Colossians 3:17, and it literally is, whatever you do in word or deed, do it all for the name of Lord Jesus. And so, that's, if you're in a competitive drill, you're going to ball out and compete hard because you're giving your best effort. If you're in the weight room, you're going to be pushing yourself, taking time, having intention with every rep, giving your best effort, and how you treat your teammates, what you're doing in your free time. We're doing everything to make sure that we're glorifying the Lord. And so I definitely think our culture is, we have a very good and focused culture. Faith is first, but we're also athletes, and we are striving to be excellent because the Lord has called us to be excellent in our craft.
That is just an excellent thing. I don't know how else to say it. I'm going to cut that out because I was just overwhelmed. That's awesome. That is terrific. You mentioned an assistant there.
Yeah.
So you're not all by yourself. What is
I'm not. Praise God.
What does he help you with?
Father Connor, he definitely has volleyball background. I don't know all of his accolades, but he definitely has a lot of knowledge of the game. He came from Montgomery Catholic, and they're the state champs. Oh, really? Last year they won the 4A state championship. And so he obviously knows what it takes to get to that level. And so he's bringing that mindset into our gym, backing everything that I have to say. He's backing it up. He's able to watch things. If I'm focused on one half of the gym, he's able to look at the other half. And, I feel like we're doing a great job of balancing just encouraging our girls, but also holding them to the standard that we know that they can be kept, that they can play at and train at. The girls immediately connected with him and definitely hold a high level of respect to him and to me. And I just feel like this has been just a wonderful, wonderful blessing for our program. And I definitely can already see the fruit from him joining our program. I'm very, very thankful.
That was good to hear they responded well to him. That was
Yes.
going to be a question actually,
Yes.
is how, a priest walks into practice, and it's not a joke.
Yeah.
How would they respond to that?
Yeah.
It's not always the person you would expect to walk
That's
through
right.
the door when you're in an athletic facility, so to speak. So that's
right.
excellent to hear. Now, the season so far, how do you think it's laid out for you?
This season we're 8-10, sitting at 8-10 right now. Not quite where, everyone wants to have a winning season. But we're right there. We're so close. We have Saraland coming up. They're ranked probably 5 in the state. And so we're not going to just walk into the gym and expect a win. We're talking about what are we going to have to do to compete. That's all I'm asking my girls to do. At this point in the season, we should be competing, and our goal is to peak in October. That's when area tournament is. That's when the playoffs is. So we're competing. The girls are taking all of the correction, all of the feedback that Father Connor and I are giving them, and we're just, really trying to make small tweaks here so that all of my girls can be playing to the best of their ability come October. So we're 8-10. We have Saraland, Orange Beach, Baker, and then we have UMS and Baker tri-match, which will be a great opportunity for us to, make some final adjustments if we need to, but also just solidify our lineup and just keep training hard.
So the last match of the season is a tri-match?
Yes.
Explain just a little bit of the format or how that lays out.
Yeah, so 3 teams will compete, and you get to play both opponents. And so it's a 2 out of 3 setup instead of 3 out of 5.
Okay.
And my JV team will be there as well. So we'll both get 2 more last matches before we head into tournament.
You have a JV team as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Good. And how many games have they been able to play?
They are, I think, matches. Yeah, I think they're at 10 or 11. No, 9 or 10, because they can only play 12. And they do have a tournament coming up here. We do as well, the Battle of Volsheld Road. JV will be competing in the end of season bash at Baker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff going on before the end of the season.
Yes.
It's compact here in the last few weeks. Mm-hmm. Does your program do any? When I look at the middle school program now, a lot of times you see the middle school mirroring the varsity level squad, basically. Is that happening here as well? Do you get 7th and 8th graders involved in volleyball? Or is that a separate program?
There are middle schools, so they're separate, but the coaches that I have, Allison Fly and Jenny Allen, we're always in constant communication. And I try to get to their matches as much as possible and add feedback when I see fit. And so, they're rolling right in. They're preparing for JV and then varsity as well. So
the ability to step right in as
yes.
you come from 8th grade into a high school situation, you're familiar with the coach,
yes.
you're familiar with the verbiage that she uses or they use and that type of thing. So that's excellent to be involved in the 7th and 8th grade middle school program as well. Well, awesome. So we're going to talk just a little bit about senior night coming up next week, and the Wild Cardinal Network is going to come out there and try to cover it. Never covered a volleyball game before. How am I going to do that? Well, is there a certain, tell me about the different positions that I should be basically zeroed in on.
Okay. Well, Lily Kerbel will stand out. It will be in a different colored jersey. She's my libero. So she only plays back row. So you'll be seeing her dive all over the place, making great digs. Jamison Daughtry and Emma Ward are the quarterbacks of the team.
Okay.
They're the setters. And so they're choosing what plays we're going to run. They're putting the ball up, getting the attackers in a great position to hopefully get a kill. And then I have a lot of attackers. I have Harper Marston and Jane Shilston, sometimes Adele Faulkner in the middle. Their main job is to block. And then we have Maddie Northcutt and Ellie Lee, who are my outside hitters. So they're swinging a lot. they're pretty heavy-handed and they're getting a lot of balls. And then on the right side, Mackenzie Taylor gets in there. She's a JV player who is playing dual JV and varsity this year. Mackenzie Taylor. Yep, she's a junior. Mackenzie, Adele, Jane sometimes plays on the right side. So you have front row, they're blocking and attacking. Back row, that's typically where my setters are, and the defenders, and they're digging and setting.
Okay, and again, pretend that I don't know anything about volleyball.
Okay.
And it didn't sound like when my children played volleyball a long time ago, everybody moved around in a circle. But you said some people stayed in the back row, and you have some people sit. So it's not a rotation like we think of as the fifth and sixth graders play, let's say.
Yeah. So this level of volleyball is very specialized. We call it base. Okay. So you do have a rotation that you have to stay in for lineup reasons. You can't cross over. That could turn into a point for the other team. So you do have to stay in your position, so to speak. But after the serve happens, you're able to run to your base. And so it does get a lot of people don't know volleyball is pretty complex, and a lot goes into it. So I'm very happy that you guys are getting us some coverage. Able to see some of the things that we're able to do. It's a very talented group, and they have fun, and they really push each other out on the court. So I'm very excited.
We're excited as well. Yeah. So that is 2 nights next week. Is that Wednesday and Thursday?
Wednesday night is senior night against Baker High School. JV plays at 4:30. We'll do the senior ceremony in between. Varsity will play around 5:30, 5:45. And then Thursday night is our last area match against Orange Beach. Same game times, 4:30 and 5:30.
Well, let's all come out and support that last game against Orange Beach. We need that for our home region game after that. So, well, this has been Coach Ashlyn Roberts. She spells it with a Y. I noted that. And she's in her 3rd year coaching volleyball here at St. Michael. Excellent to have you with us here. We're really looking forward to next week. Good luck and safe play.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.